What's up, everybody? I hope you're all fantastic. I want to thank you for stopping by the channel. If this is your first time here, I want to welcome you to the Silver Screen Analysis. I hope you do enjoy what you hear, decide to stick around, and come back later for more reviews. In this one today, we're talking about the much anticipated newest movie from DC Comics, that being Shazam, starring Asher Angel and Zachary Levi. It's directed by David F. Sandberg. It's the origin story of 14-year-old Billy Batson, who, when he shouts the word, becomes the adult superhero known as Shazam. He's gonna discover his powers, he's gonna learn to use them, he's gonna face his first hurdle, all the fun origin story stuff. So let's get into my spoiler-free thoughts. Now, admittedly, the character has never really appealed to me. I don't know much about him at all, and to be honest, the trailers, while they did look like they had some fun in them, they just didn't really jump out at me. They didn't build a ton of hype in me to want to see this movie. I did, though, go in as a blank slate wanting to learn about this hero, and I had a great time with it, to be honest. I thought the movie was a fun, adventurous superhero story that was able to add some charm to the usual origin story tropes to make it feel surprisingly fresh overall. It was lighthearted in subject matter, but not light in tone, and I appreciated that. It created some ramifications to the actions with the darker tone, which was an enjoyable change of pace to see in this usual MCU-flooded comic book movie market. This was a very comical movie. The dialogue was well written. It created a natural chemistry between the younger characters. I thought the banter and interactions between them felt very sincere, and it resulted in solid laughs. The script also infuses the characters with some substance and some heart, which I think helps build a connection to their personalities to really just understand where they were coming from. I thought this made them feel like real people, and in the case of this movie, like real kids. Thus, when young Billy is given the gift of the powers, his reactions that he and his friend experienced felt kind of authentic to what a couple kids would do if this was actually a reality. It was kind of innocent fun that I could really connect with, which was honestly a nice balance, knowing that something was just ominously looming in the background. I enjoyed the structure of the story and how the film was able to keep a smooth progression between the origin story of Shazam with the just simple coming-of-age story of Billy Batson. I thought it did a great job of keeping the curiosity up to see where the story would take both versions of the character, while at the same time being able to teach a person out of the loop like myself about the actual foundations of the powers that create Shazam, what his capabilities were, and what the history of those abilities were. It was very informative, and I thought the storyline also worked in a nice backdrop and motivation to the villain, played by Mark Strong, and I just loved how this movie overall was able to frame up its protagonist. A very imposing vibe was created for his arc, and with the immaturity of Batson, it built a natural fear for the hero, which is not often accomplished in comic book movies these days. I thought the performances across the board were solid as well. I'm virtually unknown to Zachary Levi. I think this is possibly the first thing I've ever seen him in, but I have to say he did a great job. He was able to capture that true sense of being a kid inside of this superhero body. His mannerisms and his delivery of the dialogue was just very nicely done, and even when he was in full superhero mode in this movie, he never didn't feel like a younger teenager inside this body, and I think that's what the point is. And Asher Angel did a great job in his role as well. He felt very capable in carrying a bulk of this movie on his shoulders. He captured the range of emotions to sell me on his being a troubled kid with a ton of charisma coming through in his performance, and it was just easily able to make me gravitate to him and root for his success. I enjoyed the special effects. I thought they were very crisp and polished. I thought the visual styling of the movie overall was fantastic, and everything looked great. It was fun seeing the growth in Shazam's powers as he learns to use them throughout the movie. I think Sandberg, through his direction, did a great job of utilizing that idea when capturing the action on screen. The sequences were solid and loaded with varying levels of intensity, but they also showed a fresh creativity as the constant focus on growing into this hero role was always a priority. It resulted in some action sequences that were as equally adrenaline pumping as they were comical. I thought the overall settings and backdrops were also just nicely chosen, with some action-packed sequences in the daytime that I thought were very visually appealing. And I wasn't really sure what to expect when watching this movie, but it was a wildly adventurous story loaded with a ton of great comedy and some grounded heart, and I have to give Shazam a solid 90% on the entertainment meter. I think it was slightly on the long side. I think the second act was a little bit stretched out. It could have been trimmed back to remove a couple of the repetitive scenes. I also think it tried to do a little too much in the final act and resulted in some things feeling kind of rushed, but it wasn't a deal breaker. The tone later in the film also felt like it got just a little bit lighter than it needed to, but as it was, I still thought it was a very heartwarming coming-of-age story that just mixed greatly with the weight of a superhero's first mission. The energy level was constantly high, so was the charm. The ambition was visible, making it certainly a solid superhero movie worth a watch on the big screen. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I'd love to talk movies with you guys. Share it with your friends, and without question, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can never miss a video. Here are some links to some recent reviews just in case you missed them. All my social media links and the link to our official website are down in the description below, and I'll catch you next time.